Hello, Gore here today. We are going to be doing some California plums.
Oh, you're recording.
Yeah, so we're going to be doing some California plums. That's my secretary.
So sorry.
These have been chilling for 3 months in the refrigerator, top shelf. And I want you to, yeah, you see the bulge? There's two of them. One was bad and one was good. I did the chill method and I did the open up. I took them out of the pit and let them float. One floated, one sunk. Apparently, if they float, they're bad. If they sink, they're good. Either way, I took both of the. One was actually good, one was actually bad. I took both of them and let them chill for 3 months outside of the seed. Then I tried some inside, and I still have a little bit longer to go with those. But these have roots, and it's been 3 months today, the 11th of December, and I started them in September 11th. So we're gonna go ahead and open them up. I've already pre-cleaned my planting containers that I've used from the past year in 2020. That's this year, in 2019. So this is going to be used all the way through 2021. Again, hot soap and water to get the mites out, because I did have a problem with mites, and I have new soil right here, so it's pretty good. But I'm excited. These are California plums. And what I actually have a purpose, and I'm trying to restate my whole channel there. I have a purpose this time. I have a purpose for these. These are going to be rootstocks for good plums, because I'm trying to incorporate plums. Apples I already have incorporated, trying to let them grow and trying to get scions onto them. Pears, and then peaches and cherries. Not apricots. I'm in northern New York. Apricots do grow around here. It's kind of like the peaches for me. I want to put the peaches in, but there's only a few types that really do well around here. So we're going to go open this up, and I got to be very careful how I do this. Again, this is my first time seeing it, so I know just as much as you. Oh, wow. This is amazing. Okay. So I actually want you to see this. Right there. I got two. One was bad, one was good. So that whole thing about if they float or if they don't, literally both of them took. I guess you could say one has a smaller root system than the other and is not as vigorous right now. But as you can see, maybe you could see better right there. As you can see, people. Right there. So these have been in for 3 months, and I have to say, they're even starting to grow leaves. So, yeah, these are definitely getting potted. That's another concern. Another concern. When you have potted plants, you don't want that curling on the roots, because that will initially stunt the growth for the rest of the tree's productive life, as far as fruit goes and as far as how big it can get and how much it can yield and harvest. So that right there is an issue, but I think since it's so young, we may be able to bypass it, but I wanted to say that. So actually, what I've learned as far as what to use for soil when it comes to your own property or something is use the soil that the tree is going to be in your property. Don't try to enhance it. Whatever's in your property right now, if it needs enhancing, enhance the whole section over time once the tree is in. Don't put it in a root ball with all this nutrition and the rest has a pH level that's lower or higher. What you want to do is submerge it into the native soil right here, the native soil, This is all over the property. This is the topsoil, and then it goes down to different layers of sand. We have a bunch of sand, but that's okay because now these roots are going to be used to this, and once they go in the ground next fall in 2021, they will have a great start because they'll be used to the soil. So I'm gonna put this down a little bit, and what we're gonna do is just keep it in the pot and fill it. Notice how this is about a 8 to 10 inches long, right? Um, why I'm doing that is I'm trying to really stress to you to keep the roots as long and as straight as you can because it will stunt the growth. A guy in the nursery told me, I've read it in articles, and it's true. If you ever look at a tree that has very twisty top, you look at the bottom, it's very twisty. You ever look at one that's very straight and tall and broad, well, that's due to the the bottom, the roots being very straight and tall and going deep into the earth. And again, natural soil. There's no enhancers in this soil. This is just the topsoil, the first foot or so. And I'm going to fill it right up to the brim. This way, and you want enough room. I'm not going to put both of those in this. This is for one. And you're like, that's overkill. It's really not. Because in the scheme of life, in the scheme of Mother Nature, this little bit is not even going to be enough to supply. And by the way, I just got this from outside and it is colder. It's a lot colder. And again, this is very fine grain. Look, if you look, very fine grained soil we have here. Again, I'm just going to go right to the top because once you put your water in, I'm going to leave about a 1/4 inch rim so the water can ease in. Okay? And some people like to put the water in ahead of time. No. You can. I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying submerge it in when you have the seed in. So now that these seeds are very fragile and I've had to wait about 3 months, I'm going to put this part right here in. And this is going to be under just a little bit of the sand. So it's going to be completely submerged, but I want it to suffer in a sense. So it will be stronger throughout its lifespan. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to make it suffer a little bit by putting it underneath the sand, just so it's used to endurance, pushing forward, so it's not weak. And by the way, I can't, this is amazing. This thing has, okay, right there. I would just like to show you. The oils on my hands could kill it, but right there. That's what you're looking at. Again, oh, and you can even see the little bit of green coming out right there. So those are actually leaves. So we're going to put it into the soil right here. Okay, so what we're going to do is remove some of the soil. Don't know if you can see that. Remove some of the soil about the depth of the plant itself. Pick it up just like that. And if it doesn't fit, take it out. Make sure it fits. You want plenty of room for this guy. Notice how I'm going down to about here. So now he only has about 5 or 6 inches until I have to replace the soil again. But hopefully by then, okay? Okay, and then we're just throwing them in there. Okay, and actually, yes, I know this is horrible, but I'm going to cover it. I am going to cover it. Because I have had more success, I tell you, when the plant has to physically endure and push through that soil. It's just like a chicken hatching itself out of the egg. If it doesn't break through that egg, it won't live the fullness of its life. So there's a little bit of suffering, but it will pay off very quickly. So yes, you don't see the plant; it is covered, and this will help it out. So again, I have a purpose for these guys, and I have more coming. I have purposes for them. I'm not just planting them to plant them. The purpose is, first of all, me and my family like plums. So I'm trying to get rootstocks to grow, but I'm trying to make sure I know what I have. In this sense, I don't know what I have. I know I have a California plum. I don't know what rootstock it is. Like, for example, an apple would be bud 118, a bud 111, an M111. Those are apple rootstocks, okay? I don't know what type of plum and rootstock I have because it came from the seed and not a cutting, okay? So it's not a clone, but nonetheless. So we're just going to actually top off a little bit more right here. And now it's in there. Now we move on to the second one. And if I had to tell you, here's the second container. If I had to tell you, I think the second one was the bad one because if you look, the second one is much smaller. But I think it'll do better because it's not as curled. The other one was twisted right up and curled. I don't see any leaves, but obviously this would go down and that would stay. So we're going to go ahead put that in the soil. So we have two, but I have more. This past fall, I put two more native. No, I have 3 Native American plums, 2 wild plums, European. No, 3 wild European plums, and then these 2 California plums, and I actually have more in the refrigerator. And in a couple of weeks, what I did was these I took out of the shells. The other ones I kept in, and I'm letting them soak for 3 months. Then I'm going to pop the shell because apparently it's easier. And then you have to wait another 3 months for them to mature and grow roots like these have. But I'm almost thinking that these guys are better off because they had to chill for 3 months in cold temperatures, 42 to about 32, give or take, or 40, give or take. So we're just going to go through and fill this guy. Going to fill him up. And you know what? There's some rocks in there. Let the rocks be in there. They give off lime. They give off a lot of your neutral pHs. They got some roots and stuff. Throw the roots in there. It's all natural from my land. So the land God has allowed me to have, acquire with my family. So I've learned this is the safer way. And you can smell this dirt. And we're in December 11th. Very mild, okay. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, bye.